What if the skill you have been rewarded for your entire life isn't the one the real world rewards at all? From the moment we enter school, we're taught a simple rule. If you want to succeed, you need the right answer. A question is placed in front of you. Your job is to solve it. And the more accurate your answer is, the better your grades, the more praise you receive, and the more opportunities you're told you'll have. Over time, we learn much more than how to answer questions. Without realizing it, we absorb a deeper belief. Success belongs to the people with the best answers. And honestly, that makes perfect sense. For years, that's the only system we've ever known. But then something strange happens. We leave school, and that rule starts to break down. We've all seen students who seemed destined for extraordinary careers because they excelled in every class, yet ended up living fairly ordinary professional lives. At the same time, we've seen people who were never at the top of the class build companies, create products, or offer services that change the lives of millions. These aren't rare exceptions. It's a pattern that keeps showing up. So if everyone learned the same rules, why didn't those rules lead everyone to the same outcome? Does that mean school failed? Not at all. Does it mean knowledge, or the ability to solve problems, is no longer valuable? Of course not. Maybe the mistake wasn't in what school taught us. Maybe it was in assuming that the rules of one environment were the rules of every environment. So here's the real question. Does the real world actually play by the same rules as school? Imagine you're a great chess player. Then, without warning, you're dropped onto a soccer field. Your problem isn't that you've suddenly become a worse player. The problem is that the game has changed. And in many ways, that's exactly what happens when we leave school. In school, success is straightforward. The question is already defined. The rules are clear. The better your answer, the better your grade. In other words, what gets rewarded is the quality of your solution. And that's exactly what school is designed to do. It gives you knowledge. It teaches you how to think. It trains you to solve problems. But outside of school, having the right answer is only part of the equation. Because the real world doesn't ask, did you solve it correctly? It asks, what changed because you solved it? Imagine two people with the same skills. One simply applies what they know. The other uses those same skills to turn a 1-hour task into a 10-minute one, to make a frustrating service easier to use, or to eliminate a problem that thousands of people deal with every single day. The knowledge isn't very different. The impact is, and that's why the rewards are different, too. Not because the real world values knowledge less, but because it measures it differently. It doesn't stop at what you know. It looks at what became possible because of what you know. That's where the real difference between these two systems begins. One rewards the quality of the answer. The other rewards the value that answer creates for other people. Which leads to an even bigger question. If value is what the real world rewards, where does value come from in the first place? Imagine you spend 2 years building an app. The interface is beautiful. It's fast, packed with powerful features. You launch it, and almost no one uses it. At that point, the most important question isn't, was it a good app? It's this. What would people actually lose if it had never existed? If the honest answer is nothing, then it's hard to argue that it created any real value. And that reveals something important. Most of us assume value starts with a great idea. But the real world tells a different story. People don't buy products simply because they're new. They don't pay for software because it has a cleaner design. They pay because something in their life becomes easier, faster, less frustrating. Maybe it saves them an hour every week. Maybe it removes a step they've repeated for years. Maybe it prevents costly mistakes. Or maybe it eliminates a small annoyance they've simply learned to live with. When you look closely at anything that creates real value, you'll notice the same pattern. It didn't begin with someone trying to build a solution. It began with a problem that made that solution worth building. And once you see that, the question changes. Instead of asking, what's a good idea I could build? You start asking, what do people wish worked better than it does today? The moment you can answer that question, value has somewhere to begin. But if every valuable solution starts with a problem, why do most of us walk past those problems every single day without even noticing them? If every piece of value begins with a problem worth solving, why doesn't everyone notice those problems? Imagine two people standing in the same checkout line at a grocery store. They wait just as long. They go through the exact same experience. A few minutes later, one of them walks away thinking, well, that was annoying. The other walks away wondering, why does this process take so long in the first place? They saw the same world. but they didn't pay attention to the same thing. It's tempting to think that some people are simply born with a special ability to spot opportunities. But there's a much simpler explanation. For years, school gave us the same pattern. The problem was already there. The question had already been written. Your only job was to find the right answer. After repeating that pattern thousands of times, we learned more than how to solve problems. Without realizing it, we learned to wait for someone else to define the problem first. So when we step into the real world, we bring that habit with us. We encounter long lines, complicated paperwork, the same complaints over and over again. But we treat them as ordinary parts of life, not as signals worth paying attention to. Not because we're less intelligent, but because our attention was never trained to ask the first question. Where's the problem? That's why the difference between people isn't always how much they know. Often, it's what they choose to notice. Two people can live through the exact same experience. One sees nothing more than another routine inconvenience. The other notices a small point of friction that could be improved. One sees what is. The other notices what doesn't have to be. And that difference changes everything. Because attention isn't something you're born with. It's something you train. Which means the question is no longer, why don't I see what other people see? It's this. Can I learn to look at the world differently? If the way we pay attention was shaped over time, then it can be reshaped. And that change doesn't begin by learning more information. It begins by asking better questions about the things you already see. Try a simple experiment. The next time you open an app on your phone, don't focus on what you're trying to accomplish. Pay attention to the experience itself. Did you have to tap the same button twice? Did you spend longer than you should have looking for something that was supposed to be obvious? Did you hesitate for a second because the interface wasn't as clear as it could have been? Most people barely notice moments like these. Even if they do, they forget them within seconds. But someone else sees those same moments differently, not as minor annoyances, but as clues. Clues that something could work better than it does today. And this goes far beyond apps. Maybe you're stuck in a long line. Maybe you're filling out an online form that asks for the same information twice. Maybe you keep hearing different people complain about the exact same thing. A week ago, you probably would have dismissed those moments as just part of everyday life. Now try asking a different question. Instead of asking, how do I get through this as quickly as possible? Ask, why does it work this way in the first place? Notice what that question does. It isn't searching for a solution. Not yet. It's searching for something worth solving. That's the moment your perspective begins to change. The world around you hasn't suddenly filled with new problems. You've simply started noticing the ones that were always there. Because the moment you change the questions you ask about reality, you change the reality you're able to see. And maybe that's the biggest difference between people. Not how much they know, but the kinds of questions they've trained themselves to ask. Which brings us to a conclusion we probably didn't expect when this video began. Maybe it's time to rethink what intelligence really means. Up to this point, it might seem like this video has been about business, or products, or entrepreneurship, but it hasn't. It's been about something much deeper. The way we define intelligence. For most of our lives, intelligence has been associated with learning quickly, understanding complex ideas, or giving the right answer when someone asks the right question. And those abilities absolutely matter. Nothing we've discussed changes that. But our journey through this video reveals something the picture has been missing. In the real world, progress rarely begins with an answer. It begins with someone noticing that there's a question no one else has thought to ask. Before there was a solution that improved millions of lives, there was someone who noticed something everyone else had learned to ignore. Not because they knew more, but because they looked at the world differently. Maybe that's why the people who create the greatest impact aren't always the ones who know the most. They're the ones who notice what everyone else overlooks, then use what they know to turn that observation into something valuable. And that's where everything comes together. Knowledge never loses its value. If anything, it becomes even more valuable when it's aimed at the right problem. So maybe the most important question isn't, how much do I know? Maybe it's, what am I failing to notice? Because having a brilliant answer to a question nobody cares about rarely changes anything. But noticing an important question before everyone else can give every piece of knowledge you already have a purpose. And maybe that's what intelligence looks like in the real world. Not just the ability to produce better answers, but the ability to recognize the questions that are truly worth answering. So let's go back to the question we started with. Why doesn't the real world always reward the same people school does? Maybe because school teaches you how to answer questions. while the real world asks you to decide which questions are worth answering in the first place. It's a small difference, but it changes the way you see almost everything. The next time you're stuck in a long line, or filling out the same information for the third time, or dealing with a process that feels unnecessarily complicated, you might not see it as just another everyday inconvenience. You might see it as a signal, not because the world suddenly changed, but because the way you're looking at it did. And maybe that's the real shift. Value doesn't begin with a brilliant answer. It begins with someone who notices what everyone else has learned to ignore and quietly asks, does it really have to work this way?